to figure out who I am. Not sure what I'm doing here, and the days don't work out the way I thought they would.
So, a year and a half ago today, my life changed. Not today. Take two. So, about a year and a half ago, my life changed completely. It got flipped upside down and turned all over, and it just went all over the place because of the fact that I got diagnosed with Crohn's disease. Now, Crohn's disease is stuff that happens in your intestines, and the way that I like to think about it is my intestines and like the walls of my intestines are at constant repair. Like it doesn't give the nutrients from my foods to really build those walls of my intestines up. Now, I might be explaining this totally wrong, so don't take my word for it, but that's just how I've learned to kind of understand it. And when I was first diagnosed with this, I went to the hospital twice, and they thought I just had a bowel obstruction. And so what they did, I went to the emergency room, and they gave me this drug called morphine that was not strong enough. My pain was to the point where they had to give me this other drug called Dilaudid, and it's like just a few steps higher, or like it's more powerful than morphine is. And they gave me that and got me to the point where I was calm and not like groaning and everything anymore. And then once I got to a level part and I wasn't in pain all the time, they moved me out of the emergency room. They put this tube up my nose, so they didn't like put me to sleep or anything for this. They just put this tube up my nose, and it went down my throat into my stomach. And what that was supposed to do was drain everything that was in my stomach out, because it wasn't coming out like the normal way that everyone is normally used to. So basically this is just poop. That's basically what it is. And it's coming out through my nose into a bucket that's back there. It's pretty gross, right? And so that was awful. Like, it really scratched up my throat and stuff like that. And I stayed in the hospital for like 5 days. That was the first time. And the second time it happened again, same thing, all that stuff. And then I was finally diagnosed with Crohn's disease. And one thing that I really remember about the hospital was there was this one doctor that told me, don't let this disease ruin your life, because there are a lot of people that have this disease, but they let it control their life. They let it dictate what kind of job they have, what they want to do. They let it limit their dreams, and they only settle for something. He was basically telling me, like, don't let it do that to yourself. And that stuck with me, not just because I was planning on just settling and not striving for that higher level. I was always going to keep pushing myself and doing as best as possible, but it really stuck with me because I was like, I really can't, like, this is going to be hard, but I got to keep pushing myself. I can't just settle. Like, settling is not even an option here. So the plan I had coming out was to get back to the gym and really start working out again, get my diet under control. And right after the hospital and I was diagnosed with all this, I met somebody that ran a recovery business, and he wanted me to do social media marketing for them. Now, granted, I had no idea what I was doing with the marketing side of it. I knew what I was doing with the video and the photography, but I didn't know marketing. But I needed enough time to be able to work on it and give it my all. So I quit my full-time job and went for that. And as soon as I quit my job, I started going back to the gym. And this was in January, and I was diagnosed in November. So in January, I started going back to the gym, and my plan was to really get back up to where I was. So I've been working out for 4 months now. April just ended, and I've been working out since June. So I've been working out 6 days a week for 4 months. And this is kind of, I think I can tell that I'm starting to put on some weight and stuff. Like I'm starting to look bigger. Anyways, this is the progress that I've made. And my acne is still pretty bad. But it is getting better. Slowly. Anyways. This is pretty much what It's getting better. You're definitely gonna eat better. But yeah, I mean, I'm probably around 165, 66. That's probably how much I weigh right now. So I'm pretty much back where I was when I went to the hospital. That's about where I was. So. Because where I was about 165 to 170. And when I went to the hospital, I lost 30 pounds. So I was like, I want to get myself back up there. I want to gain 30 pounds of muscle and really start improving my life. Like, this is, like, I'm not going to settle, like I said before. And I was doing really well with working out. I was working out 6 times a week, and my life was doing really well. I was making improvements. I was trying to track it, and like, it really seemed like it was going uphill. I mean, yes, I was still in pain every once in a while, but the medication they had me on was working. It was working enough to the point where I could really start making improvements. But that did not last forever. About 4, 5, 6 months later, after January, so April, May, June, around that time period, my stomach started to hurt a little bit more, and it gradually got worse again. And so like, okay, this is not working. Finally, in June, the medication I was on, they said, we're going to switch you to this other new medication. And switched it. I was doing good for a few weeks, started going to the gym, making improvements again for a month, and then it got worse. And that's been the common theme since I really started getting all this medication to really help with Crohn's disease. And that's been so hard because I've wanted so badly to be able to gain muscle and to, like, look buff, basically. Like, going through high school, I wanted to be someone that was big. I've always been the skinny kid, and I was tired of it. I was tired of it, and this is something that's not making those goals possible, and it's really annoying to me. And finally, so right now I'm on this medication called Stelara, and it's nice because I don't have to go into the doctors and get like an infusion, which means an IV up my arm, and they don't give me the medicine that way, which is really nice. I just shoot it in my stomach with a shot myself. So that's really nice. I don't have to do that anymore. I was doing really well and everything, but then it started going downhill, and I'm like, I am tired of this. I'm sick and tired of not feeling like I have control over my health and over the way that I feel. Like, I've gotten tired with it, and I know I have an old friend from Arizona, and his mom has Crohn's disease, and she's gone the route of not using medication. She still feels some of the side effects of Crohn's disease, but she has it under control to the point where she won't be on medication. And I really want to try to get to that point. I mean, I might not ever get off the medication, but I don't want to be in pain every single day, and it's annoying. Like, I hate it. And so my plan is to set some goals for the near future and the far future. So near future, I've decided to set a goal of running this race in Telluride, Colorado. It was a race that my mother did when I was like 15 or 16, and it's over the Imogene Pass in Telluride. So it starts at the bottom of the mountain, goes up to 13,000 feet, and then back down the other side of the mountain into Telluride, Colorado. And that place is so beautiful, but that's beside the point. I want to be able to do this race. I'm thinking, if my mom can do it, I know I definitely can do it. And I have an older sister, and my older sister Lindsay, she's gonna be there, and she's gonna try to do this race. And so I'm committing, and I'm going to start training for this race. I'm going to do it, and that's my plan for right now, so I can really get my health back on the right course. And in order to do that, I also have to make sure I am tracking all my meals. I'm doing like a food journal that really keeps track of what I'm eating, if it works for my stomach, if it doesn't, when I ate, when I should be eating, so I can really figure out a good schedule of when I should eat, because Crohn's disease affects everyone differently. So I have to find out what really works for me. So I'm keeping that specific food journal I am stretching daily, and starting tomorrow, today is, I don't have my watch on. Today is what is today? Today is Wednesday. What's today? Okay, thank you. So today is Sunday the 15th of March 2020, and starting tomorrow on the 16th, I'm going to start getting up at 5 and going on a little bit of a run in the mornings to try and get my health and my stamina and my cardio and everything back up to where it needs to be in order to be able to do this race. So, obviously I need to start training, so that's where I'm going to start with that. I want to continue the food journal. I want to start getting up earlier and going for runs. And as far as my short-term goals, that's kind of what I'm doing. The race is in September, and I really do want to do this race, and I'm going to prepare for it. Now, I don't know if it's 100% sure that I will do this, because registration is in June, and it closes pretty fast, so I might not get a spot in it, but we'll see. If I do, then okay, then that's for sure this is happening. But I want to start training like it's gonna happen, and I'm not gonna do it. So I'm gonna start training for that. I want to keep the food journal, really figure out what's going on with my diet and get that under control, and we'll go from there. Maybe, and hopefully, not maybe, or hopefully, eventually, I will get to the point where I will learn what's best for myself and my own eating habits and exercising habits, and hopefully I can do more races in the future. Not hopefully, I will do more races in the future if it's something that I enjoy doing. As far as my long-term goals are, I really want to be able to go full-time with videography. I'm working with another videographer, and he's gonna give me jobs that they won't be able to take because they're getting so much work. So hopefully he'll give me some jobs so I can get more experience that way. I am constantly trying to contact people that own businesses, small businesses here in St. George, to see if I can create content for their social medias. And so I'm really trying to get to the point where I can be able to quit this job and do videography and photography full-time with content creation and weddings and really anything I can do regarding video and photography. So my goal with that is to be able to become full-time with that around this time next year. So I want to be going full-time next year. If it comes a lot sooner, that's great. If it doesn't, that's fine. Every day I'm going to work towards that goal. And once I reach that goal, I want to get to the point where I need more help, and I want to start more of a business-like atmosphere with well-captured productions and get more people on my team and have like a physical office here in St. George, and hopefully be able to spread it to Arizona and have another office there and Utah, and be able to create a community where kids that are trying to learn how to do either sound design or video or photography can come and really practice learning some of the equipment and learn how to create videos or music. And I want to be able to create that sort of free space for them. So I'm going to be tracking my progress with these. I'll be making YouTube videos in terms of my progress and my lifestyle with my new wife and everything like that. So I'll be keeping track on that on YouTube, and on my Instagram stories I will be posting progress on there in terms of how fast I'm running miles and things like that. So I'm going to be tracking those things there, and hopefully be able to create some sort of community that is willing to just say okay and go after the things that they want. And Just Say Okay is also another business that I'm kind of wanting to start, and it's going to be revolved more along the lines of motivation and really getting the things done that you want to do with your life, and really getting to that next level, like Ed Milet says, maxing out. But I hopefully want to be able to start that kind of community that they can set a goal and really work towards that goal and really change their life and make it better and make it the kind of life that they have been wanting and striving for. So I also know I am just 21 years old and I don't really know a lot, so I'm hoping to be able to learn a lot more and be able to influence other people so they can learn how to just say okay and make that first step and make their lives what they want it to be. And I've never really done anything like that before. I've tried quitting my job, but that failed. I had to get a new job because I wasn't succeeding with that. And I wanted to get married and things like that. So I had to go back to a full-time job after quitting my job to try to chase my dreams. So I've never really won in terms of really actually changing my life, in my opinion. I'm sure I have that I just can't think of, but I really want to start with this win of being able to do this race, and then hopefully once I know I can count on myself to finish something, I will translate that into my own business and things that I want to do for the rest of my life, because I don't want to be working for somebody. I know what I want to do. I really feel like this is what our Heavenly Father or God has put me on this earth to do, is to really reach out to other people that are struggling in their own lives through video, through written, through podcast, like through really any form. And I know for the fact that I can help other people out there, and I know I'm young and I know how I don't have very much life experience, but as I'm going along this journey, you'll be able to see the ups and downs that I've gone through. I mean, I don't plan on inspiring everybody, but this is just a change that I want to make in my own life. By making this video is just going to help me keep myself motivated and keep myself honest, so I don't just quit. And that's the last thing I want for anyone that has a dream that they want to achieve. I don't want them to just quit, because I'm not willing to. And I want to be able to show people that they can do it. And so as that process goes of me showing myself I can do it, hopefully it'll show other people that they can do it too. Now, that all being said, if you are wanting to follow me on this journey, which I hope you are and are willing to, I'm kind of excited to see where it leads, honestly. I'm a little bit nervous because it's scary. I don't know, it's a big race and big commitments, but I'm looking forward to it. So if you want to follow me on this journey, share this video to anyone who you feel like needs to change something in their life and wants to go on that same journey with me, so we can do it together. But anyways, just stay tuned onto my Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, and all of those are just at Orson Wilkins, and I'll stick them on the screen so you can see it. But that's pretty much it. I'm looking forward to the future, and I hope you are too. And don't forget to just say okay and get your life to the place that you want it to be. Alright.
I heard you were ending.